were going to do these summits throughout the year on Fridays, the 5 Fridays that we had for PD days, where we were going to bring all the PL teachers together, and each one was going to be about a rubric and, that type of thing. And we entirely shifted, and we created these PL camping trips. I don't know if you've heard it or followed any of them, but I mean, for us, it was super important for us, instead of designing like professional development, that we shifted to like, how can we build a community of practice to where teachers had structured and unstructured opportunities to learn and share with each other. So the camping trips, like I can walk you through all of it if you want, but like the high level, is like, they got into Schoology. We gave them 2 pieces of inspiration based on the rubric row that they wanted to focus on for that trip. We gave them a plan to help them like build that and try it. They tested it out, and then they came to the campfire at the end, and it's like, making s'mores around a fire and like telling stories like, here it worked, or this was a complete flop. And they all, on the camping or the campfires, are after school on Thursday, and everyone hops on a different Zoom based on what rubric row they're working on. And then we bring them together, do a few like connections, and then we put them in breakout rooms and let them talk and share. And that has been really powerful in the sense of like, we're all learning this together instead of us saying like, you should try this. And it's like, well, I've never done it before, so I don't know if it's going to work. That's kind of how we've really kind of tried to shift a lot of our professional development and support in terms of the PL schools.
So it's almost like you've built like a agile process that teachers are going through, or saying, this is like my general focus area. This is the problem I'm trying to, like, let me come up with something that I'm going to try. There's accountability around coming back and reporting back and like all that sharing. But the putting of people in like similar strands of like part of the rubric they're working on actually help support, like, to make sure people were actually learning about similar types of problems, even if what they were doing was different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because us, it's like most important. I mean, you think about kids that are successful right now in this like distance, hybrid, in person, sometimes I'm home, sometimes I'm at school situation, is like, they have to be truly self-directed. They have to know how to learn on their own, and they have to know how to learn. And so like, it's been hard for teachers to experience that too, is like, and that's the whole part of the camping trips, is like all rooted in like, how can you become truly self-directed, or how do you build the habits for self-direction? Because once teachers start to learn that, then they can, build those opportunities or know what to scaffold for kids, so that our kids are ultimately like successful learning on their own, because that's what they're having to do in many situations right now.
Yeah, like if we're not giving teachers models for ways to do that, then certainly like it's going to be way harder to put that into place for their students.
Mm-hmm.
That's super interesting. How many teachers at a time do you have on these camping trips?
We had, oh gosh, I think we had 177 the last one. I could pull the exact numbers. But we've got probably around 400 at all of the PL schools. And the way that we laid them out, so there's one for each, like right now we're at the Everglades, focusing on equity. My alliterations, like assessment data was at Acadia. Not all of the alliterations worked, but schools opted into them. So like if I was a campus leader and our 2 priorities when they did their prioritization this year was on student agency and equity practices, then my teachers would just go on those 2 trips. Or some schools said, we want to open up all 5 trips for all of our teachers and let them pick. Another campus, their teachers set their goals in their learner profile, and so they pick 1 or 2 of the domains and indicators that they want to work on for the year. And so they join just those camping trips. That's been the hardest part from our perspective, is trying to remember who's coming to what trip, and okay, wait, they didn't, I need to send it to this group of teachers or this campus. But I think that's been neat to see. And we're starting to have more teachers where their campus isn't requiring it, but they've done it every time. So they're like, well, yeah, I want to do this again. because they I think enjoy the most is the campfire at the end of it, where they're getting to talk to, because really it's taking place of the emails of like me emailing you like, hi, do you know another first grade teacher that I can work with right now to build choice boards? Because the other first grade teacher on my campus is, bilingual. And so then we have to translate, or, it's like those different things. So we're trying to build community across those grade level bands, across all of the schools, which has been neat because there's been a few cases. It's starting to take off now, where like there's a whole little thread of all the kindergarten teachers that all share all of their stuff for the high school folks and that type of thing.